time is 1:15. Here is the news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. The second phase of the Central Expressway from Mirigama to Kurunagal will be opened to the public this evening. Principals, teacher advisors and teachers' services declared as closed services. Commuters are to be refunded money spent to buy train tickets. Health experts say it is important to have the booster dose to get protected from new COVID variants. Foreign news: North Korea confirms missile test from train amid fresh sanctions. Sports news: tennis star Novak Djokovic detained ahead of deportation appeal. Local news in detail. The second phase of the Central Expressway from Mirigama to Kurunagal will be opened to the public this evening under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The opening ceremony will be held at 4 p.m. in Mirigama. A public meeting will be held at 5 p.m. at Yagapetia. The distance of the second phase of the Central Expressway from Mirigama to Kurunagal is 40.91 kilometers. The expressway will bypass urban areas and pass through mainly vacant lands. Minister of Highways said in a statement that this four-lane section of the road from Mirigama to Kurunagal has now been identified as the most beautiful expressway section in Sri Lanka. This section of road was constructed by local contractors with local funds. 5 interchanges with payment counters have been set up at Mirigama, Nakalagamua, Damboka, Kurunagal and Yagapetia. The extraordinary gazette notification has been published for the declaration of the Sri Lanka Principals Service, Teacher Advisors Service and Sri Lanka Teachers Service as closed services. The gazette has been issued by the Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Professor Kapila Pereira. Accordingly, those services are declared as closed services with effect from 30th August last year. The gazette states that the authority and the provisions on the appointments, promotions, disciplinary proceedings, transfers and other establishment matters of each service shall remain in effect same as at present. Railway Department says that commuters can get the money refunded of their train tickets from relevant stations which were cancelled due to the sudden strike launched by the station masters yesterday. Railway General Manager Dhammika Jayasundara said train services are operating as usual now. This news broadcast coming you from SLBC. Continuing with more local news, health experts say that people are not keen to have the booster dose of the COVID vaccine when compared to the first and second doses of the vaccine. Government has spent a large sum of money to purchase the booster vaccine dose. The booster dose has reduced the number of hospitalizations and deaths occurred due to the coronavirus and its new variant. The booster dose is being given at all government hospitals and MOH office from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. only. Only up to 20% of the eligible population have taken the booster dose so far. But a majority did not show any complications due to the booster dose. More than 73% of the total population have obtained the first dose and more than 63% have obtained the second dose. The health experts say that it is important to have the booster dose to get protected from the new variant of the coronavirus. Geological and Mines Bureau says that license for mining are issued only after proper study. Chairman of the Bureau, Anura Palpala, said recommendations from several state institutions are obtained before using license for mining. He said recommendations of institutions such as Archaeology Department, Urban Development Authority, Water Board and Central Environment Authority are obtained prior to issuing license. That ends local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Ceylon Electricity Board says that there will be no power cuts today as the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation has supplied 3,000 metric tons of diesel for power generation. However, the CEB also requested the public to use electricity sparingly due to the high demand. Ceylon Petroleum Corporation has taken an urgent decision to deliver 1,500 metric tons of diesel to the Electricity Board daily until the 18th of this month. That ends main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight, the online entrepreneurship guidance service says yes.ulead.lk aims to create the best opportunities for entrepreneurial endeavors. This will enable interactions with more than 100 professionals with long-term experience in business. The aim is to address the challenges faced by the entrepreneurs island-wide in making their products. This service is available in all 3 languages by accessing the website yes.ulead.lk. The U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, is sponsoring this online entrepreneurship guidance service. That ends Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
World News headlines first. North Korea confirms missile test from train amid fresh sanctions. 3 people stabbed outside University of Tokyo. Prince Andrew's civil case accuser seeks UK witness testimony. World News in detail. North Korea confirmed today that it launched ballistic missiles from the train in what was seen as an apparent retaliation against fresh sanctions imposed by the United States. North Korea's official Korean Central News Agency said the drill was aimed at checking and judging the proficiency in the action procedures of the missile, adding that the 2 guided missiles hit a set target in the East Sea. Police have arrested a 17-year-old boy on suspicion of stabbing 3 people outside the campus of the University of Tokyo. These all 3 are conscious and being treated at hospitals. Police were alerted to the incident in front of the university's main gate today. They arrested the suspect attacker, a high school student from the city of Nagoya, on suspicion of attempting murder. Lawyers for the women accusing Prince Andrew of sexual assault are seeking testimony from 2 people in the UK. According to the court documents, Virginia Giuffre's legal team want Robert Olney, the prince's former assistant, to provide a statement. They also want one from a woman who says she saw the royal in a London club with a young girl around the time Miss Giuffre claims she was abused in 2001. Prince Andrew was consistently denied the claims in the U.S. civil case. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. North Korea confirms missile test from train amid fresh sanctions. 3 people stabbed outside University of Tokyo. Prince Andrew's civil case accuser seeks UK witness testimony. That ends World News.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
A model home garden has been inaugurated in the Vadamarach Educational Zone, Jaffna. The project is being carried out under the auspices of the Sri Lanka Army. Its purpose is to establish green agriculture in the country under the President's Vistas of Prosperity policy statement. That came to you on Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Moving on to sports news, it's tennis news. Novak Djokovic has been detained in Australia ahead of a court hearing that will determine whether the tennis star can stay in the country unvaccinated. The Serbian faces deportation after his visa was cancelled for a second time, with the government labelling the 34-year-old a threat to the public health. His lawyers are appealing against that they called an irritational judgment. With the hearing set for tomorrow, Djokovic is still scheduled to play the Australian Open on Monday in Melbourne. Cricket news. The fifth test of the Ashes series between Australia and England is underway in Hobart for the second day. Batting first, Australia scored 303 in their first innings. In reply, England was 60 for 2 wickets a short while ago. That ends sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Lanka Restaurants and Caterers Private Limited, a sister company of Lanka ICE Group of Companies, will be investing over 600 million rupees to diversify to the leisure segment and expand their Clements Restaurants and Banquet business. Managing Director, Lanka Restaurants and Caterers, Upeksha Fernandez, said they plan to build luxury villas in Chilo and Trincomalee. That ends business news.
Business news sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority Chairman Kimali Fernandez said the World Tourism Council has named Sri Lanka as the safest country to travel in the Asian region amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. She said this year they are expecting to reach 50% of their best year, which is 2018, in which the country recorded 2.3 million arrivals. She added the target is to make half of that this year. That ends economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The Weather Report.
Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in central, Sabaragamu, Uva and southern province in the afternoon. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. That ends Weather Report. To wrap up the afternoon news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The second phase of the Central Expressway from Medigama to Kurunegala will be opened to the public this evening. Principals, teachers' advisors and teachers' services declared as closed services. Commuters are to be refunded money spent to buy train tickets. Health experts say it is important to have the booster dose to get protected from new COVID variants. Foreign news, North Korea confirms missile test from train amid fresh sanctions. Sports news, tennis star Novak Djokovic detained ahead of deportation appeal. With that, we wrap up the afternoon news on Radio Sri Lanka.